All right, we're live. I've got a green light on my monitor. I've got a crowd in the waiting room. That's a great sign. Good to see everybody. Happy Scotch and smoke rings. For those of you who are surprised, I'm broadcasting so late today. Remember, last week I said that I have to change the time of my Thursday show permanently. This is for the foreseeable future unless something changes. I'm going to be live between 8 and 9 o'clock p.m. For the foreseeable future. I gave a reminder out on Twitter earlier today as well. So a little bit closer to 9 than it was to 8. But here we are, and I'm ready to dive back into Killer Frequency. We're live today on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Kick. And it's great to be live on Kick again after having been absent for over a month due to apparently an encoder setting issue on my end. And it's great to be live on Twitch. A lot has happened on Twitch for my channel recently. I've passed a number of partner and affiliate milestones, which is great. So many thanks to everybody watching on Twitch. And if you send bits on Twitch, I see you. I see them. It's hard for me to see them during my chat because the combined chat box that I use doesn't register bits. So I only actually discover them after the broadcast is over. So I'm switching things up a little bit. I've got a third chat box open on Twitch just so that I can see the bits as they come in, so I can thank each and every one of you for them. Super Oxhorn fan on Kick says, back again. You have to be the only person I watch anymore. That sounded not creepy at all. I need a drink. Well, my friend, you were in the right place if you came for a drink. Cheers, Super Oxhorn fan. Bottoms up. Good to see you back again. Good to see Jared Shover on Facebook today. And of course, all of our regulars, members, and Patreon supporters on YouTube today. Alt Grendel, The Reverend Coyote, Toby Noble, Naughty Applejack, Donald Moore, Greg Hinojos, Wyoming Homesteader, Bestruder, Donald Moore, Merdin Philippe, Jake Farley, Julian Z, and it's Alt Grendel with the first super chat of the day, who says, I have to joke about Scheherazade. I have a joke about Scheherazade. I have a joke about Scheherazade, but I'll have to finish it tomorrow. All right, I'm presuming that's like a German psychology term dealing with procrastination. And I'm sure I've heard it before, but I don't think I've seen it spelled before, which is why I'm having a hard time figuring out Scheherazade? Scheherazade. Yeah, don't know there, Alt Grendel. But I'm sure it's hilarious. Thank you for that one. Mark from Sales says, today is my unbirthday. Can I get a smoke ship themed after an offshore pirate radio ship? Yes. Huh? Okay. Your unbirthday? How do you unbirth a day? I mean, aside from going back in time. Hopefully nothing terrible and dramatic is happening in your life, Mark from Sales. But we can definitely give you a smoke ship themed after an offshore pirate radio ship? Yeah, that sounds fun. An offshore pirate radio ship. All right, hold on. There it was, for the briefest of moments before your very eyes, painted in nothing more than the smoke from my mouth, was a pirate ship. It was a pirate radio ship. So, you know, I guess it's a modern ship because radio didn't exist in the classical pirate era. I tell you what, we'll call it a Crimson Fleet ship. That's what I painted. We're not retroactively deciding what it was. It was there in the smoke. It was a Crimson Fleet pirate radio ship, and it was magnificent. It had skulls and crimson because it was part of the fleet and everything. Happy unbirthday there, Mark from Sales. Thank you so much. Timberjack says, I literally finished the last Killer Frequency episode 30 seconds ago. Perfect timing. I've been up since 4 a.m. and it's 11 now, so I may doze off. No worries. Timberjack, glad you made it, and the replay will be live on YouTube for when you're ready for it. Motorboater03 on Twitch. And this is Motorboater's first time chat. Says, dude, I love your voice for anything to do with Fallout. Thank you very much, Motorboater. Much more Fallout content to come. Official Teached Canon says, hello, Oxhorn on Twitch. And that is official Teached Canon's first chat as well. Thank you very much, official Teached. Goopy Tech on Twitch says, pardon me, hi Ox, I'm here due to power being out at my house, so it's hot, and I cannot sleep. Oh, Goopy Tech, I'm so sorry to hear that. I've been there. My air conditioning was out all last weekend. It was due to the power outage that I suffered last week that knocked me off of Horizon Zero Dawn. It caused one of the load shedders on my generator to bust, and so I had to get that repaired. But I was out of AC for the entire weekend, so I know how you feel. We had a really hot weekend last week here in the Pacific Northwest, and it was nasty. Anyway, I'm sorry you're awake. I'm sorry you're sweating buckets, but hopefully my broadcast can help in some way. Megacoder on Kick says, woohoo, I saw it. I knew you did. You don't have to tell me. I know. I've been a fan of my own art for a very long time. A true artist is also a fan of his own art. And when it comes to painting smoke ships with nothing but my mouth, well, that is true art. But yeah, I understand you saw it, and it was beautiful. This is just one of the many, many amazing things I can do. Super Oxhorn fan with an emoji high five. Thank you very much, Super Oxhorn fan. Official Techt Canon says, not to be corrective, all due respect, but it's pronounced like Techt. Oh, official Techt Canon. My bad. And that's okay. All due respect, fully taken. I mean, if you wanted people to pronounce it like that, you could have spelled it like that. You did have that option. But you chose to spell it. Well, I mean, it is, okay, tech. I get it. From technology. So that's how I should have read it. Okay. Thank you very much, official Techt Canon on Twitch. Autobot Matt says, Supox, love your Fallout lore vids. It's been fun learning about the game during COVID. Thank you, Autobot Matt on Twitch. Yeah, COVID was a rough time, but I was still thankfully able to keep my job and crank out lots of videos. And I suppose it's not over. People still suffering with COVID today. Greg Williams says, hey, Ox, what made the tomato blush? It saw the salad dressing. I'm here all night. Love you, big guy. Thanks for all you do. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. That's a voyeurism joke. A vegetable-themed voyeurism joke. Wampus Court became a bronze ox. Thank you so much, Wampus Court. Colonel 87th says, love the Fallout TV show reviews. Thank you, Colonel 87th. A lot more to come. I was thinking, it's weird because I'll go to sleep at night to get away from work. And I'll lie there thinking about work. And I'll come up with some of my best ideas while I'm just lying there waiting to fall asleep. And so I'm constantly lifting up my phone and taking it out. Oh, that's a good video idea. Oh, that's a good video idea. And by the time, an hour and a half, 2 hours goes by, and I'm essentially writing the next episode of my series on my phone, I just can't stop thinking about it. But I've got a lot of videos that I have yet to make, so expect much more. Random Greymane became a Bronze Ox. Thank you so much, Random Greymane. Mark from Sales gifted 20 Oxhorn memberships to the YouTube community. Thank you so much, Mark from Sales. And congratulations to Clell Biggs, Clyde Kelly, G-Dept88, Assault Egg, Grant Haber, James Olson, Old Man Gamer 00, Hugh Jass, 2 words there, 2 words, Knox Black, Joseph Wolf, John Washburn, Ben Cooling, Giga Wii U64, Vic Whiplash, Megan Perry, Ludi Coden, MJ Weatherby, and Andre, and Alex, and Buddha Belly. Wow, 20 is a lot. I sat there and read all of them, didn't I? Thank you very much, Mark from Sales, and congratulations to all. Alt Grendel says, I have a joke about Medusa, but you have to be stoned to get it. I like it. First time hearing that one. I love it. Official Tech Cannon says, it's all good, bro. That's just my Xbox name from back in the day, lol. By the way, I've always loved your content since I was younger. Crazy to think that like 5 years ago when I first started watching your videos, I was only 13. I just graduated high school the other day. You hardcore carried the last few years of my life after I became a huge Fallout nerd, to be honest. So I'd like to say thank you for that. You're welcome, Official Tech Cannon. It's weird how this, like, my son is about to turn 12, so he's getting close to your age when you first started watching my videos. Well, I probably wouldn't let him watch my videos when he turns 12, because, you know, I cover a lot of mature-rated games, a lot of blood and violence and gore, so I'm not sure what age will be a good age for my own kids to watch my content. They kind of know what I do. Like, they know that I'm on YouTube, and they watch, you know, child YouTubers. So they know what YouTube is, and they know what a YouTuber is. And they're gamers, like they play their own kids' games, but they don't really know what Fallout is, or, you know, they haven't seen much of my content. So it'll be interesting to see how they react when they're actually old enough to view my content. Rahan Shurko on Twitch says, will we get lore videos of Elder Scrolls like the Fallout series? Love your New Vegas series. Thank you, Rahad. Probably not, but you know what? I'm not going to say no to everything. I'm not going to completely close the door. I am not terribly interested in the Elder Scrolls. However, I also realize there's a new Elder Scrolls game coming out. Eventually, it'll probably be out before Fallout 5, right? And I'm going to want to cover it when it happens. I already broadcasted myself playing Skyrim several years ago. It's probably been about 5 years now. But I've got a playlist with my full playthrough of Skyrim on my channel if you want to check that out. I just did the main quest. I didn't do any of the side quests. And it was okay. It was okay. So we'll see how I feel about the Elder Scrolls later in the future. Jackal Wise on YouTube says, yay, Oxhorn time. I'm going through a really rough time right now, possibly the worst of my life. But watching your streams always brings a genuine smile to my face. You're the YouTube dad we all deserve and want. Oh, that's really sweet, Jackal Wise. Extremely kind. I'm so sorry to hear about the difficult time that you're going through now. I've been there. Some of the most difficult times in my life I've had to go through, while also trying to put on a brave face on the internet every day. So I know what it's like, and I know how difficult it can be, especially when you're doing it all alone. So I'm really glad that you found my channel, and I'm glad that I can be here and this community can be here for you and for each other so that we can all just enjoy the games we love together. Stephen Kanizek says, be honest, Ox, Season 2 of the Fallout TV show will involve you and Yes Man welcoming Overseer Paul Atreides to New Vegas. That's a fascinating plot there, Stephen. Oxhorn and Yes Man together ruling over New Vegas? I mean, yeah, that's what I want. I think that's what everyone wants, right? Totally. Thank you, Steven. Levartation on Kick says, hey all, streaming on YouTube and Kick. Thank you very much. Levartation, good to see you, helping me out on Kick today. Megacoder on Kick says, Ox, being a professional means doing your best work, even if you don't feel like it. Yes, that's very true. And there have been many times in my life when I have not felt like it. I try to do my best work, especially when it comes to my lore videos. I have to admit that when it comes to my live streams, sometimes I kind of just stumble on camera and wing it. Not that you would ever know, because I'm so professional here and I do my best work. I totally hide it. You would never know that I forgot to comb my hair in the morning some days, right? Or that I forgot breakfast other days, right? I keep it hidden so well. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Got to do your best work and be a professional. Thank you, Mega Coder. Perish the thought, says Mega Coder. I know, right? Colonel 87th says, this has got to be my favorite game you've played. And I have an interview for a job on Monday. Wish me luck. It'll be like double what I get paid now. Wow, that's amazing. Colonel 87th, I'm so excited for you. It's weird how the chat will oftentimes mirror real life. And I don't understand it. Maybe it's the economy. I think we just hit a milestone in the stock market. But there are people I know who are getting good jobs after struggling to find paying work for months, sometimes years. And to hear you getting a new job that pays double what you were currently being paid, it's so good to hear. And I'm so happy for you. Congratulations, Colonel 87th. Finsley on Twitch says, from the Fallout show, have you ever thought that Birdie from Vault 4's real name could be Gertie? Overseer maybe got her name wrong like Lucy and Goosey? Oh my god. Oh my god, you are so right. That can't be a coincidence. I never even thought about that. Yeah, I'm so glad you told me that now. I wouldn't have thought of that. And I'm going to be doing a video on that story eventually. So I'm glad I'm going to have to make a note about that because that is hilarious. What an interesting detail that I otherwise would have missed. But I think you're right. I love that. Of course, we can't confirm it until they confirm it in the actual show, but that makes perfect sense. Wisp Soup on Twitch with a first-time chat says, thanks for doing all you do and making what you make. Thank you very much, Wisp Soup. No plans to ever stop. Odd X says, I vote for you to keep Baldur's Gate 3 going. Excited to see you exploring the city and all the lore in Act 3. Thanks, Odd X. I have been enjoying my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. I mean, it doesn't get a lot of views. And it's because, you know, Baldur's Gate 3 is such a huge game, and it was covered years ago, you know, when the beta was released, and it's been covered as ad nauseum. So there's not a lot of new stuff there. And I would definitely want to cover new games as they come out. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know which one that I'll pause in order to tackle Ghost of Tsushima at the appropriate time, but it might be Baldur's Gate 3. I won't stop it. Don't worry, I'll definitely try to finish it. I put in a try there, you know, just to cover my bases. But I have no plans to stop it. Aurora says, what do you call a belching gunslinger? A belching gunslinger Wyatt Burp. I feel like I've heard that one before, but I don't know where. What did the stomach say to the burp? If you're real quiet, I'll let you out the back door. What's with the burp jokes? Have I been inadvertently burping on microphone? I haven't been burping, have I? Oh. Humiliating. Finsley on Twitch says, lol, just had that epiphany on a rewatch right before the stream. Completely fits the Overseer's character. It does. And I love the Overseer. I love how he's portrayed. I can't wait to talk about him because I have a lot to say about Vault 4 and the Overseer as well. Rachel says, I second keeping Baldur's Gate. Been loving the streams. Well, thank you, Rachel. And you keep showing up to all of them, and I appreciate it. I've been loving it, too. The Dark Chlorine says, a man just assaulted me with milk, butter, and cheese. How dare he? How dare he? Milk, butter, and cheese. How dare he? Ah. That's great. Thank you, The Dark Chlorine. Gotta say, that's my first time hearing that one. Julian Z says, hi, Ox. So good to see you on the Scotch and Smoke Rings. Are we going to finish Killer Frequency? And if so, will we start something new? The answer is yes and maybe. Yes, we will finish Killer Frequency. I think we were really close to the end. Chad was telling me last week that I've got about an hour left. But as for playing something new, the answer to that is maybe. I have queued up System Shock. I made sure that it was updated. I've already got a thumbnail created and ready to go. But it's really going to depend on how I'm feeling at the time. I'm sure I'll be feeling fine, but I am broadcasting later in the day. Though I did take a nap in the day. I'm getting old. Man, those mid-afternoon naps, I don't know what it is. But 2, 3 o'clock rolls around and I just want a nap. And I've never wanted to do that in my entire life. But now that I'm over my 40s, nap time is the best time. Is anyone, can I relate? Is anyone else relate to me there? I don't know. Maybe I'm alone there, but man, I just want that mid-afternoon, afternoon nap. So I took my nap, my old person nap today. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. So we'll see. I think I might be able to plow through Killer Frequency and then dive right into System Shock. Connor Sato on YouTube says, hey, Ox, hope you're doing well tonight. When do you think you'll continue Cyberpunk 2077? I don't know. I'm just in a glut of games, and there are so many to choose from, and it's just hard to prioritize. I mean, you heard me just talking about having to pause Baldur's Gate, a game that I've been playing for almost a year now, just so that I can play Ghost of Tsushima, and then I just recently started Horizon Forbidden West. So, I mean, I want to get back to Phantom Liberty. I really do. It's just that I've got so much on my plate right now. So I can't give you a date, but it is in my wheelhouse. Like, it's on my mind. I want to get back to it. I want to stream a few more episodes of that, finish the DLC. It's just, I got to find time for it. Super Oxhorn fan on Kick says, you are not alone, and I'm 30. Just turned it in April. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone there. I mean, nap time is the best time. It just really is. Wisp Soup on Twitch says, thanks for doing all you do and making what you make. Thank you, Wisp Soup. Oh, wait, I think I scrolled up, and I saw that already. Well, thank you anyway, Wisp Soup. GT Boy subscribed with Twitch Prime. They've been subscribed for 6 months. Thank you, GT Boy. Wow, I'm getting all sorts of notifications on the actual Twitch chat that I just don't get in the combined chat that I've been using. Oh man, I've missed so much. Official Tech Cannon says, you should play Coffee Talk. It's a very simple game with a very simple lore to follow with light puzzle elements where you make drinks for people in a cafe you run. I think you'd love it. Coffee Talk? I don't know. It might hit too close to home because I actually used to be a barista. It was my second job right out of high school, as I was a barista for about 6 months. But all right, I'm going to check out Coffee Talk and add it to the list. Miwi Tiwi, first-time chatter on Twitch, says, hello, Ox, I missed your Fallout 4 gameplays. Thank you very much, Mimi Tiwi. Well, they haven't gone anywhere. I've got plenty of them. They're all on YouTube and ready for you to watch right now. You can head there and check them out. Thomas McCormick on YouTube with a super chat says, honestly, you playing through Oblivion on the channel would be amazing. Might be a Bethesda best work of all time, up there with Morrowind. Holds up well with a few quality of life mods. Best part about it, no dragons. Cheers. Thank you, Thomas McCormick. I do love my fantasy without dragons. Yeah, all right. Maybe I'll have to consider that. playing Oblivion or even Morrowind at some point. Alt Grendel says, a man tells the waiter he is not sure what to order. The waiter says, what about the duck? The duck says, I'll have the lasagna. Oh, man, it's just like... It's not a drum roll, so I need to have one of these, but it's a drum roll. But I'm like, I gotta have one of those, but I don't have the right one. DM Chaos 2004 on Twitch says, greetings, Oxhorn. Thank you, DM Chaos. Luna Shah on Twitch subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, Luna Shah. Levartation on Kick says, I took a nap at 12 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. on accident. I fell asleep at my desk. Hopefully, like your desk at home or your desk at work. Hopefully your boss didn't come by and like thump you at the back of your head. Mega Coder says, I'm 72. Tell me about it. I took a nap while driving. Now I don't drive. Okay. Well, 72. I understand. My mother is in her 60s. And she doesn't drive anymore. For not for the exact same reasons, but for eyesight reasons. Like her eyes just have been getting worse after year after year after year, and no amount of eyeglasses will help. She'll go in and get a prescription, and it's out of date within 6 months. And she feels nervous driving, so she doesn't drive either. Mega Coder says, at least I didn't kill anybody. Yeah. Well, there is that. In the tiered list of at least things that we didn't do in our lives, not killing somebody, I mean, that's high up there. At least I didn't kill anyone. Check. Yet. I mean, you are, after all, only in your 70s. You've got several decades left to kill. Be careful. I'm watching you, Mega Coder. DM Chaos says, nice to be here with all of you. Big fan. How is everyone doing? Doing well, DM Chaos. So good to see you, my friend. Jez Vicious says, Ox, I've come to realize that how I run the Minutemen is the settlements I visit the most have the best stuff, and everyone else lives in squalor. Lol. That's why you got to get your supply lines going, right? Because even if you don't visit a lot of other settlements very often, if you at least get supply lines running, then they'll have food and water and everything they need to at least beef up their happiness. As long as you get all of the major gold stars of happiness for each settlement, then from a game perspective, they'll be happy, even if it doesn't look like a very beautiful settlement. Sarah says, thanks for your brave face. We would have loved any face of yours, even in dark times. Corny, but the empath in me feels with what you said earlier. Cheers to you. Well, thank you, Sarah. I do appreciate it. It's extremely kind, and I love being here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Jackal Wise says, I'm also excited for Killer Frequency. Let's save the town. Also, I'm still hoping the killer is that political guy who's just so darn annoying. I kind of hope it's Poppy from Poppy's Pizza or whatever. Whatever. Like, I hope it's something ridiculous like that. Like, the entire thing was a big ruse for him to promote his pizzeria. But we kind of know that it's a woman, though, right? We learned that the woman, Dawn, who was talking with us earlier, quote-unquote helping us, was the one responsible for at least attempting to kill one person. But that's just the impression that we've been given. We don't really know for sure just yet. I'm not sure what would have happened had we not saved the Roller Dave guy. Dave the rollerblade guy. I guess we'll see. Colonel 87th says, yeah, Ox, they make games too long these days. It's a funny thing to have to complain about, but you're right. I eventually ran out of steam when it came to Assassin's Creed Odyssey for that very reason. It was just so long a game. Kyle Howard says, Ox, you need to invest in a soundboard. Then you can have the drum roll and some other stuff as well. Yeah, I should do that. I mean, I've got a little soundboard here kind of. It's just that I'm using all the slots right now, so I can't. I need to put a drum roll one in there. Man of Warb says, if you like your fantasy games dragon-free, then I suggest Dragon Age by BioWare isn't for you. In the first game, you kill a dragon. The second has you optionally kill a dragon. And the third has you kill 11 dragons. Yeah, I don't know. It's just that I think dragons are so overdone. It's like they all read The Hobbit, and they were like, ooh, love that. I'm gonna do that. But my dragon's gonna be better. It's like, all right. Chris Tidwell says, you're neglecting your cigar. Relight. Yes, thank you, Chris. I am neglecting my cigar. It's difficult to maintain a good bead of fire. Do you call it a bead of fire? You don't. You call it a cherry, I think. It's difficult to maintain a cherry at the foot of your cigar when you're constantly talking. But I will relight this. Colonel 87th says, my settlements in Fallout 4 are all ridiculously strong and unique. I could pretty much take on the Legion and the NCR single-handedly. It's my end game. That's great, Colonel 87th. And that's very similar to what I did in my first playthrough. After I beat the game, I just really maxed out all my settlements. My regret with that playthrough is that I did use mods to do it. And I waited until I beat the game to use mods. And then I figured, well, I already beat the game. I might as well use mods. And I enjoyed it. But I really pushed the settlement build system to the limits. And I ended up creating so many big, beautiful settlements that became broken and unusable when mods were abandoned by their mod creators or completely removed from mod marketplaces. So it's frustrated me a little bit. If I could do it over, which I might, when I finally do the story of the Minutemen, is I'd try to redo each settlement without using any mods, just using the tools available to everybody in the vanilla game. I think it would be interesting to try doing my settlements that way as well. Mimi Tiwi says on Twitch, I was watching them 8 years ago, your Fallout videos, all day modded Fallout 4, and I should say, you still look the same. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Thanks, Mimi Tiwi. You know what? If you had caught me about a year and a half or 2 years ago, you would have said that I had lost weight, because I did lose weight for a while there, but I think I gained most of it back, so I'm back to where I was. I won't be here forever. I'll get back down to my fighting weight. I was at my college weight for a while there. I need to get back there. Luna Shah subscribed on Twitch. Thank you so much, Luna Shah. Chocolate Chip Wookie on Twitch says, hi, Ox. Hope you and the fam are well. Love me some Scotch and smoke rings. Play on and cheers. Thank you, Chocolate Chip Wookie. Kiss Gaming says, before Skyrim, not having dragons was one of the best things about the Elder Scrolls series. Was it? Well, maybe I should give it a visit then. Jez Vicious says, no, I purposefully have them live in squalor, and most of the time only give them empty houses, and they still haven't built anything, lazy settlers. Oh dear. Well, you are the general. You have to give them direction. Sadly, the way it is settlers don't do anything unless the general in person comes in and says, build this wall, plant these carrots. Come on. Random Greymane says, speaking of The Hobbit, I highly recommend the audiobook read by Andy Serkis. Great sound and fun. Yeah, I imagine it would be. The voice actor for Gollum and Smeagol himself doing an audiobook of The Hobbit. That would be great. Jackal Wise on YouTube says, I just realized this will be the last of Truck in Glorious Technicolor. We will miss it all. We will miss it so. Also, I built so much of my settlements in Fallout 4 that my computer, nor my PlayStation can load the saves anymore. Yeah, that's the way it is for my Vault 88. I can't load into my Vault 88. I'm so glad I got my video for Vault 88 done before I just couldn't do it anymore. I can't zone in. It's just hitches. It's so big. My Vault 88 is so big. Watch my video on it. I used every square inch of the vault. I really did. Every square inch of it to build my Vault 88. But at least I can still visit my other settlements. Super Oxhorn fan on Kick says, I almost didn't make it to stream tonight. Well, I'm so glad you did. It's been great having you here. LT Wraith Jackson on Facebook says, hey, Ox, if it's okay, could I get a shout out? My name is Dustin. Of course. Shout out to Dustin on Facebook. Good to have you watching today. Zarteth on Kick says, did you hear about the 13-eyed space urchins? They're coming to steal gravity. Did you hear about the 13-eyed space urchins? They're coming to steal gravity. I'm assuming that's a sci-fi reference that I just don't get. I mean, I understand that urchins have lots of eyes on the ends of their little pokey bits, but space urchins and gravity, I don't understand. Super Oxhorn fan says, because I was late on my way to Ponte's Pizza. I hope he calls back before the broadcast is over. Zartith says that made no sense and may have been meant for another chat. Oh, okay, I see. So you did that on purpose. All right. Well, you know what, Zartith? I'm just so glad you're here. So glad you're here today, Zartith. Jared Shover on Facebook says, just want to say, why is it that the Fallout TV show got the Brotherhood of Steel ranks mixed up? You're supposed to start as an aspect first. No, an aspirant, not an aspect. Not a squire unless you were born in the Brotherhood. You're right. You're right. It goes aspirant, squire, knight. For the knights, and then and knight, sentinel, paladin. No, knight, paladin, sentinel, and then elder. But aspirant, squire. No. It was squire first, because in Fallout 4, squires are kids. The kids were all squires, and it was aspirants who were adults but who still aspired to become knights. It was squire, aspirant, initiate, knight, paladin, sentinel, elder. Right? What about scribe, says Tarzan Frank? That's another tier. So the Brotherhood of Steel splits between knights and scribes. There's an entire conversation with Scribe Valdez about this during Fallout 76, and I believe even in Fallout 3 we have a conversation about it. But when you join the Brotherhood of Steel, you are gauged for competency, and then they decide where you go. You're either going to go down the scribe path or you're going to go down the knight path. If you go down the knight path, then if you're a child, you stay a squire, right? Or perhaps it's that squires are just for all children, and then once a squire becomes an adult, they go down either the knight or the scribe path. But if you go down the scribe path, I don't know if there are many different ranks or tiers there. If they do, I don't think they really covered it. But if you go down the knight path, then it's aspirant, initiate, so on and so forth. Jackalwise says, it's my own fault. Every settlement had an apartment complex made from vault pieces and or pre-war houses. They were so pretty. Wow, that actually sounds really fun, Jackalwise. I hope you can get them to work again. Alien Face says, Terminator Resistance is a great game. Same group of people that did RoboCop. Stay amazing, Ox. Also, lots of loot in the game, lol, and I watched the Fallout show, and it wasn't so bad. Few things I could have done without. Yeah, I feel the same way. But the more I watch it, the more I get it, and the more I like it. So, let's see. Terminator Resistance. 910. Wow, that's a very high review. Cool. I'll have to add it to my long and ever-growing list. Master Bleck says, is there a way to choose to join the Brotherhood of Steel but also stay with the Minutemen in Fallout 4? I believe so. Don't quote me on this, as I'm still... It's been a while since I've been through both playthroughs. But there is a point of no return in the Brotherhood of Steel questline that, if you pass, locks you out of the peaceful Minuteman ending. And in fact locks you out of the Minuteman ending altogether. But you can join the Brotherhood, I think, and then choose to work with the Minutemen and finish the game for them, while still being peaceful with the Brotherhood. Keith Michael says, ever thought of doing conventions? I'm taking my daughter to her first convention next month. Looking forward to meeting Keith David. You know what? I used to do conventions all the time. Back in another life, when I was Oxhorn for a different game series, I went to BlizzCon every single year, and I was invited by the company. And I was there to meet people and take pictures. And those were very, very fun days. But it's been a long time since I've been invited to a convention like that. And you know what? I might. It's kind of... My lifestyle is it's a bit more difficult for me to get away. You know, being a single father and all of that. And I work full-time as a business owner. But I would still love to be able to participate in conventions. I did enjoy my time all those years ago going to BlizzCon. Tim Judge says, Ox, Ghosts of Tsushima playthrough? Yes. I'm looking forward to it dropping. Thoughts on Maximus? His character seems unlikable. If he ends up bad, I'm cool with him. If not, I'm not a fan. I like Maximus a lot. I liked him better before the last episode of the series. And I guess I don't want to spoil the last episode of this series, but we learned something about him that just made him less edgy. I liked him more before the whole Vault 4 episode, where he just had that very odd sexual conversation with Lucy. It was just really weird. I mean, even within the context of Lucy's vault and her being raised to be hypersexual, and Maximus's naivety and lack of experience with sexuality, their interaction was just so off the wall weird that it was really uncomfortable, and it made me like both characters a little bit less. The thing with Maximus is he has an inherent nobility. Because when he was, I'm writing an episode already on this, but when he was rescued from Shady Sands, he didn't understand at the time that the Brotherhood was there to scavenge, to salvage. He just steps out of that fridge and he sees the Brotherhood there and he sees them as saviors. And that is his mental image of the Brotherhood of Steel, baked into his consciousness from a young age. And he can't get rid of that. And then he grows up in the Brotherhood and he struggles matching this unrealistic expectation and high vision that he has for the Brotherhood that was burned into him as a child with the reality that he sees. So many of the members lack honor. So many of the members are bullies and thugs. The leadership themselves are in it for the power and not necessarily to help people. That he becomes disillusioned. Like, he really wants to be a hero. He really wants to be a knight. And when he sees people that don't deserve what he should have, he becomes, well, a little bit gray area, which of course is exactly what a Brotherhood soldier should be, right? Brotherhood members, they kind of operate in the gray. So I think that there's a lot to Maximus that's really interesting about him. I kind of wish that he was a little bit more gray area. Towards the end of the series, I think they tried to make him too good. which I get, because in order for him to be a romantic partner to Lucy, with Lucy being a vault dweller and having unrealistic expectations for anyone in her life, her father, let alone a partner, they would have to rough out some of Maximus's rough edges in order for them to be a good match, I think. And I don't know if they successfully did that. I guess we'll find out more in season 2. Okay, hold on a second here. Awesome, we're doing good. 15 minutes until the game begins. Thomas McCormick says, fun fact, in the 1990s, Bethesda devs loved playing D&D so much that they created Elder Scrolls as their version of D&D. The extremely weird and unique lore of the series is reflective of it. That's pretty cool. You know, in the 1990s, I kind of did the same thing, but I'm not getting paid for it now, which is a bummer. They clearly were smarter than me. But in the 1990s, instead of making a game that was my version of D&D, I created a story. I created a world and a backstory, and I developed it and continued to write on it. Just never published it. I think I published part of it in a book a long time ago, self-published it. It's been a while, but I really need to get back to that and finish it. Connor Seto says, I'd like to recommend another game, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's a game from my childhood, and I'd love to see you play as a pirate. Yeah, I had that recommended a lot back when I was playing Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, and it sounds like a game that I'd really enjoy. Man of Warp says, the Fallout show made me rethink Vault 88. If the residents wanted to farm and fight to protect their land, they'd have gone elsewhere. Since they've come to 88, I've decided to turn them into gamblers who keep giving me caps. That's great. I love that. We have slot machines, don't we, from the Vault-Tec Workshop? I think we do. Levartation says, fell asleep at my desk at home waiting for your stream, but woke when I set my hand on my super glue. Still peeling it off my hand now. I deserve a drink. Yes, you do, Levartation. Yes, you do. Thomas McCormick says, generally protagonists in series are better when they aren't trying to be in a relationship. So I agree with your take on Maximus. Yeah, after episode 2, I was really excited about Maximus. You know, when I went to Hollywood and I got to see the first 2 episodes, I walked away with Maximus being my favorite character because I thought that he was really compelling and interesting. And he remained compelling and interesting, but they softened him up after he met Lucy, and he became less interesting, I think, as a character. I really wanted to see him make some difficult and terrible gray area decisions, and they kind of did that when they got his power armor, and they really did that at the beginning. At the beginning, when they gave us the impression that he would do absolutely anything to become a knight, but then to find out that that's not necessarily what happened, kind of diminished my view of how much I enjoyed that character. Oreo Legends became a bronze ox. Thank you so much, Oreo Legends. Nick Valentine says, I found some Oxhorn gems still exist on Vimeo. Including a few banger hit songs, of which one still exists as a ringtone on iTunes. Got it, of course. Yeah. Back in the days when I was doing web development, I had a website called Oxhorn.com, and I used Vimeo to host all of the videos that I let you watch from my website, Oxhorn.com. And the website's down. I need to remake it, but all the videos are still up on Vimeo. So yeah, those are still there. And then I did publish all of my music to iTunes. I think I didn't renew it or something. I forgot to click on a button in an email they sent me, and then it delisted one of my albums. But my other album, Oxhorn's Christmas for Geeks, is still on there, and I've got a couple of ringtones that are still up there, like Work Work Zug Zug Dabu. Those are all still there. Jared Shover on Facebook says, my settlements are like the Old West with the Brotherhood of Steel in charge of supply lines. Now that's interesting, Jared. Really interesting how you combine the Minutemen and the Brotherhood there. Gomer on Kick says, good evening, Mr. Horn. It's okay, you can call me Ox. From the wonderful world of Kick, hope you're well. It's going well. I have a joke for you. A priest and a rabbi and a minister walk into a bar. The bartender looks at them and asks, is this supposed to be a joke? Right. No, I like it. That's what I would ask as well. Master Black says, nah, Max will become a good leader. Imagine if he becomes enemies with Lucy. Yeah, it would be devastating if he does become enemies with Lucy. I mean, we see from the very end that the scales fell from his eyes. He kind of realized the kind of organization that he was in. I mean, when he was with Thaddeus, and Thaddeus was giving him the head, and Lucy was there, and the Brotherhood was coming, and Lucy says, but wait, isn't that a good thing? Aren't the Brotherhood the good guys? Both Thaddeus and Maximus go, well, it's kind of complicated. And then when he goes back to Philly, which the Brotherhood is now occupied, and he talks with his friend, they both admit that they would rather not be in the Brotherhood. But there's no escaping the Brotherhood. They can't get out. And then when he sees cold fusion working, used by an entity not the Brotherhood, and that entity chooses to use it to provide power, free power, to the ruins of the wasteland, I think the scales kind of fell from his eyes, and he realized that that's not something the Brotherhood would ever do. The Brotherhood would use power for itself. The Brotherhood hoards power. The Brotherhood will use cold fusion to stay in power. They don't share power. So it's possible that he could just embrace this new role as the sword of the Brotherhood's elder. But I don't think he will. I think that he's still in love with Lucy. He's disenfranchised by the Brotherhood, and something's going to happen in season 2. I'm really excited about that. Urarabur says, I stumbled onto your songs online. Kind of weird, lol. They are kind of weird. I'll give you that. I mean, I made my songs when I was a much younger man, and I was very silly at that point in my life, and I had fun with them, and you can buy them now if you want. All of my music you can buy. It's there. Greg Williams says, what do you think of the Fallout 4 patch so far? Can't wait for you to play Fallout London when it drops. You know, I've really enjoyed all of the creations that we got with the Fallout 4 update. I am, of course, disappointed that it was a bit of a rough rollout after sitting on it for so long. Despite having all of these wonderful free creations, so many players, especially on consoles, just couldn't get them to work. And it took several weeks before they rolled a hotfix out that fixed it. So that's a bit frustrating, and it seems to always be the way with Bethesda. But in terms of the actual content, I loved every single one of them. I have now made a video about every new Creation Club pack that came with the update, so you can check those out on my channel. I published the latest one on Wednesday, and the lore of them, they're on point, and they're really good. Mark from Sales says, 3 Oxhorn fans walk into a bar. The bartender leans over and says, Oxhorn no, I'm not saying it. See, I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're doing, Mark from Sales. You're trying to get me to say it with my voice so that it can be used out of context later. So that, so close, he says. So close. I knew that's what you were trying to do, Mark from Sales, and I'm not going to fall for it. No. Try again. AJ on Twitch says, Ox, do you have any plans to attend New Vegas Day? November 17th and 16th this year. I don't. I know they've got a New Vegas day in like Good Springs, but I really don't plan to attend. Though I hope that if people do, that they'll have a wonderful time. Zarteth on Kick says, I feel like the Yao Guai scratch marring the Brotherhood emblem on his Powers chest plate might eventually bear significance at some point. I hope so, but, he's no longer a knight. Well, he might be. Remember, he has to become a knight by doing a big deed of valor. He has to show courage, and his friend is going to try and convince everybody that he's the one who killed Moldaver, which isn't true, but if he sort of embraces that, then that'll definitely be a courageous act, and maybe he'll become an actual real knight. Will he get Titus's old armor? Maybe. Will they repair the damage? I don't know. We'll see. But when he went into the battle at the Griffin Observatory, he didn't have armor. He wasn't wearing armor. Blue Thunder says, I'm surprised that Fallout 4 Creation Club put in some new missions due to the Fallout TV show. I've seen lots of gamers playing Fallout 4 nowadays. Yeah, every Fallout game, every Bethesda Fallout game has seen a huge bump in playership. Fallout 4, more than all the others, but Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas got a huge tick in players. Fallout 76 has got a big bump in players as well, thanks to the Fallout show. And you know what? I don't think that the publication of the latest Creation Club updates just a few weeks after the release of the show was an accident. I don't think it was coincidental either. I think it was probably on purpose. Colonel 87th says, in the TV show, if I were the NCR, I would not rebuild. I would wait silently in search because that is a serious threat, and I simply use special forces. So check out my latest video on the NCR Explained. I don't think the NCR is ignorant about who destroyed Shady Sands. I think they know full well who did it. Because Moldaver knows full well who did it. Moldaver's the one who recounts the story of what Hank and Vault-Tec did to Lucy. And if Moldaver knows, I think the NCR knows as well. Remember, Moldaver is operating on behalf of the NCR at the Griffin Observatory, walking into battle with the NCR headquarters sign above her head. So I don't think the NCR doesn't know who did it. I think they know that Vault-Tec did it. Now, to your point, I think it's quite... It is a good explanation as to why they didn't recolonize the ruins of Shady Sands. If Vault-Tec hadn't been dealt with yet, then yes, they do have that fear. But they have that fear anyway, right? The only reason the rest of the NCR hasn't been destroyed yet is because Vault-Tec hasn't discovered Dayglow, hasn't discovered the hub, hasn't discovered San Francisco, right? As far as Vault-Tec is concerned, the NCR was destroyed with the destruction of Shady Sands. But once they figure that out, that there's more NCR out there, they're going to try and come and destroy it. But that's an interesting thought. Thank you, Colonel 87th. I'm thinking that Moldaver and her shock troops were the special forces that you were mentioning. They probably invaded Vault 33 through Vault 32 as an NCR operation, being the special forces of the NCR to try and get rid of Hank McClane. Man of Warb says, just realized this, Lucy is basically Curie, thrust into the role of the lone wanderer, and the ghoul is what Nate might have become if he'd gone ghoul and didn't find his son for 200 years. Or for hundreds of years. Yeah, that is interesting and terrifying. I'm glad the ghoul still has some of his personality intact after all that time. Beamon on Twitch says, having watched you for years on YouTube, I just now realized I wasn't subscribed on Twitch. Well, thank you very much, Beamon, for subscribing on Twitch. I appreciate it. AJ with a donation of bits. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate that as well. All right, it's time to start the game. So now I've got 3 chats here. I'm going to try and organize these a little bit. Put that over there. And then launch the game. And turn out the lights. I think it's time for a new one. Tim Judge says, I'm really hoping Norman somehow ends up as a king. I hope he realizes exactly what Betty has done to his family. And I hope he uses his wiles and machinations to somehow oust all of the Vault 31 dwellers from his Vault Society. And perhaps lead his vault dwellers to the surface and colonize the city like Vault City or something. Okay. All right, we've got somebody waiting on the line, don't we?
Let's roll.
You got it. We've got another call coming through, too.
Welcome back to 189.16, The Scream. I believe we have another caller on the line. How are you tonight, caller?
Forrest, it's me, Roller Ricky. Oh, and Maxie's here too.
Good to hear from you again. How are you both doing?
Oh, we're good, man, thanks to you. You're like our guardian angel.
That wouldn't be a bad look for you, Forrest. A little White Wing Halo number? Maybe something for the K-Fam Halloween party.
All right, everyone, let's calm down. Ricky, I'm just glad we could help you and Maxie.
Is there anything else we can help you with, Ricky?
Actually, I think I have some info that might help you.
Oh? What's that?
You see, man, me and Jason know each other.
You know each other?
Yeah, we went to Gallows High and played on the football team together. He was a gnarly offensive linesman, and I was our star wide receiver. Runner Ricky, they called me.
All right, and what does that have to do with tonight?
Well, because George, the guy who drowned, he was on our team too.
Oh, really? Interesting. Jackalwise says, I loved your video on Norm. I was a bit like him when I was younger. Some of my teachers hated me for it. Jackalwise. Yeah, Norm was really a standout character for me. I loved him. Omni Elemental Wizard on Twitch with a donation of bits. Thank you so much. Says, I played this before you started live streaming this game and loved it. No spoilers, but the twist is surprising and time period appropriate. Oh, God. Are we going to get like a Flock of Seagulls reference or something?
What? You knew George?
Yeah, but not long. We had our first team party on the night he drowned. He seemed like such a good dude.
Ricky, were you there when George drowned?
No, man. Once the party turned, I'd be feet out of there. Man, I remember George and his girl there. There was a whole lot of love, man. I could see it, you know?
Ricky, listen, this is very important. I need to know everything about her.
I didn't really know her before, or see her after that. I never even got her name, man. I just remember he called her Bean.
Then what did she
Really?
look like? Please, tell us anything you remember.
I just remember a pretty girl, man. I'm sorry.
Ricky, you said the party didn't last long. What happened?
We were just having a good time, and then the next thing I knew, everyone was running for their life. I looked up and saw a goddamn whistling man in the trees. And I never ran so fast in my life. I ran straight home. Didn't know about George until next morning at school.
I'm guessing it was whistling night, wasn't it? That the whistling man was just another kid.
Yeah. I don't know how George died, but I always felt like if anyone deserved to die that night, it should have been me.
Why?
And
Ricky, it wasn't your fault. You're not a bad person.
I know that now, ma'am. It took a long time to learn, but yeah, just thought I'd tell you all what I know.
Thank you, Ricky.
This helps. Thank you.
You got it, man. Anyway, I think it's time for me and Maxie to free up your phone lines. Thanks for listening, man. I'll let you to it.
Night, Ricky. All right, folks. Looks like we got a new lead in the case. If anyone has any info about this mysterious bean, please call in.
If she was George's girlfriend back then, she's probably in her mid to late 30s now. Huh. Oh, we have another call coming in, but hang on.
What's up, Peggy?
Peg?
Peggy?
You're gonna want to take this call off the air.
Who is it?
Just do it.
All right, folks, it's time for another track. Here's one to help you sit back and relax. We'll be right back after this. Coming up for your listening pleasure, it's Caged Tiger with their single, One Last Goodbye. I hope this is good news, Peggy. Who have we got?
Find out for yourself on line 1.
Hello?
Forrest, I'm glad I got back
Hey!
for you. Sounds like it's been a busy night, huh?
Surprise! It's Leslie, our 911 operator, leading the charge from Henderson to come save us. It's so good to hear from you. Are you okay?
We're doing okay. Sarah and I are both happy to be headed back home.
We're happy to have you too. Wait, Sarah?
Oh, yeah, I mean Deputy Martinez. Anyway, we got back into radio range a little while ago. We've been listening in, but haven't been able to get through until now.
It's been non-stop since you left. Please tell us you're bringing help.
You bet! I'm leading a whole goddamn squad towards Gallows Creek as we speak. Turns out somebody had cut the phone lines. They had no idea what was happening.
That's great news. That's crazy about the phone lines, though. Do you think the whistling man cut them?
I'm guessing so. I don't know how the whistling man did it. But that doesn't matter right now. Listen, we're coming in hot, but we need your help. I know Gallows Creek isn't a big town, but if we don't know where the whistling man is, we can't get him. Her. That's where you come in.
You can count on us. What do you need?
It might be a long shot, but here goes. The whistling man already called up a few times. I bet she calls again. We're still a little ways out of town, so if she calls, stall her. buy as much time as you can for us to get in.
Oh,
and while
dear.
you're talking to her, try to figure out where she is. We'll be listening in, so once her location is known, we'll head straight there and end this nightmare.
I'll do my best.
I know you will. Heck, I can see the headlines now. Forrest Nash's interview of a lifetime. Anyway, I'll radio the other cars and tell them the plan is a go. Hopefully the next time I see you, it'll be with our killer behind bars. Take care now.
We'll see you soon, Leslie. Oh, thank God. It sounds like this is almost over. We're nearly through this.
I hope you're right. The sooner this is over, the better.
I am right. Trust me. Anyway, we should get you back on air. Taking callers is the only way to see this through. Okay, Forrest, shut the music off. Bringing you back live now.
Welcome back to The Scream with me, Forrest Nash. The line is lit up, but before I get to our next caller, I just want to say things are looking up. It's almost over. But for now, let's bring in our next caller.
It's gonna be Dawn. Here we go.
Evening, caller. This is Forrest Nash.
Hello, Forrest. This is John Hedges. I'm here with Casey. I wanted to give you an update on Jason.
John! Is he gonna be okay?
He's a fighter. He'll be
Yay!
fine. Got him stabilized and resting in a bed. We're preparing to move him to the hospital.
Thank you so much.
Ooh.
If you hadn't been there, then... God, I don't even want to think about what would have happened.
Of course, Casey. We're just happy he's okay.
John, Casey, you two did all the work. Tell Jason to get well soon from us, whenever he's up for it.
Well, why don't you tell him yourself?
Is this Forrest?
It is. I hope you're feeling better now.
It's good to hear you, Jason. How are you?
Oh, well, you know, I've got a hole in my stomach, and there's a knife in my leg, but John gave me something to take the edge off. So, I might feel even better than either of you.
Okay, yeah, don't laugh. Don't laugh, Jason.
Take it easy until you get to St. Gabriel's.
I will. But, before that, I needed to call you. I'm guessing the Whistling Man is still out there?
Yep. As far as we know, anyway.
I was worried you'd say that. God damn it.
Actually, I'm glad you called. I wanted to talk to you about what happened earlier.
Go for it.
We spoke to Roller Ricky not long after you were attacked.
You spoke to Ricky? Is he alright?
He is now. I mean, he was attacked earlier, but this call came after.
Hey, guys, I'm really sorry, but there's a call on the other line. I just need to make sure we don't have another situation brewing. You fill Jason in on what happened. I'll be right back.
Sure, Peggy. Sorry, Jason, where was I? Yep. Ricky's fine. You don't need to worry about him.
That's a relief.
He told us about George.
Sounds like everything's finally coming out now. It's been tough to hold it all in.
Sounds like you've been holding back about something awful, Jason.
I'm part of the reason my best friend is dead, Forrest. And the few who knew about it said if I ever said anything, I'd find myself in jail. For a long time. It was hell. And then the town just moved on. Like he'd never existed.
Well, I'm so glad that by failing to stabilize the knife in his leg, we didn't get him killed. This is going to give us more information now that he's alive.
What happened that night?
I went along with the stupid prank, that's what. Whistling night. Some of the guys on the football team had an idea for a way we could haze the newcomers. We decided to plan a party in the woods and have the Whistling Man crash it. It was stupid. We each had a role. I was the stabbed friend. At the party that night, I left the group for a second. Met our whistling man. Pretended to get stabbed in front of everyone. Started an almighty panic. Those screams. That was the last time I saw or heard George alive.
How did George die, Jason?
I don't know. I was playing dead.
Her?
But when I heard her scream...
Ricky mentioned a girl named Bean. Is that who you mean?
Bean. Oh yeah. I guess George did call her that. Yeah. He called her Bean. I heard her again tonight, Forrest. Her name was...
What?
No!
What happened? Are we still on air?
No, we're not. Seems like the power is completely gone.
How do we get it back on?
I don't, we can use the emergency generator down in the basement. Ricky picked it up a while ago in case we ever needed to do an emergency broadcast.
An emergency broadcast?
Emergency? You know, nuclear war, alien attack, broadcasting a serial killer's location to the cops so we can end this nightmare.
Fair point.
It's in the storage area in the far back corner, up on the wall. You might have spotted it earlier when you were digging around for all those tapes. It'll have a big red button. Just press that.
Yeah.
I'll see you when you're back.
Right. Well, Dawn doesn't start with the letter M. What name did we hear that started with the letter M? Oh, man. Everything's on emergency power now. Jackalby says, I still think there's more than one killer. The whistling man just moved too fast. What, you mean the hot fuzz method of murder? Makes sense. Oh, I don't like it so dark. I don't like this at all. Michael Ewan says, check the desk at the back of the basement again. You mean all the way at the back of this? All right.
Far back corner. Why is this station so big? That must be it.
But you want me to check the desk first.
If you're listening to this, then I'm probably dead. I'm a man who likes to stay informed. I've got subscriptions to newspapers all over the country.
All right, well, we have heard that. Well, Michael, I'm checking out the desk. Is this the right desk? I don't see anything else here. I opened all of the drawers. And I don't see anything new that we haven't already tackled.
It is the coroner's opinion that the subject likely feared for his life and was chased.
Okay, well, here we go. Read the blue playbill. Oh, the blue playbill. Gallows Creek High presents Humpty Dumpty, a story of love, tragedy, and betrayal, starring Maisie Cartwright as Dawn. George Barrow as Henry. Wait, George's last name was Barrow? As in Barrow Creek? Oh wait, no, it's Gallows Creek. Okay. George Barrow as Henry, also with Marie Campbell as Anne. So George and Maisie starred in a play together. Maisie as Dawn. Oh, interesting. That has answered a few questions. Thank you, Michael.
Boom! We've got power. The Whistling Man. I need to warn Peggy.
I can't sprint! I can't sprint! No, wait, Peggy! Hang on there, Peggy!
Peggy, are you there? Are you... Peggy! I need to get back upstairs.
No!
What the hell?
Oh no! Peggy!
Oh no.
Oh!
Peggy! Where'd you go? What the... No way. This can't be happening. A call.
You know what? I'm gonna take my time there. Whistling Man.
Did Dawn press the Peggy button? Did she want me to hit it on my end?
Yeah, I'll hit it on my end. Give me a second here. Happy birthday, sis. Happy birthday, Peg. Now you're great and 8. Love and... What? Love M? What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is the Whistling Man Peggy's sister? Oh. Okay. Okay. So Peggy might be in on this. All right.
What do you want?
Good to talk to you again, Forrest. You know, I've really enjoyed our chats tonight.
I guess we've had some moments. My favorite was when Ricky ran you out of the rink.
Ha! You sure did get me then, Forrest.
Where's Peggy?
Have some patience, Forrest. It's almost the end of the night. Almost the end of the show. But it's not over just yet. Got a little time still. So let's make the most of it.
All right, let's.
I'm happy to hear that.
Huh?
I thought we'd end tonight's Whistling Man special with a special guest. The one who started it all. Let me take that out of your mouth and...
You crazy bitch! Let me go!
Welcome to the air, Mr. Teddy Gallows Jr.
Wait,
It's all gonna come out tonight, Teddy. Your daddy and his money saved you 20 years ago. But even if he crawled out of his coffin with all the money in the world...
wait. Where the hell is Teddy? How are you talking to him if you're here with me?
Because I'm not there with you, Forrest. I'm here with Teddy. And if he says where that is, well, he knows he'll get it.
Wait, then who am I looking at?
Forrest Nash, let me introduce you and all of Gallows Creek to my boy, Henry Barrow.
Hi, Henry. Nice to meet you.
Don't mind him. He's just shy.
So there were 2 whistling men tonight. Of course. That explains how you were always able to get around town so quickly. And that's how you escaped the secret archives in the newspaper office.
Don't think I've forgotten about that, Forrest. Locking my sweet boy away like an animal.
Hang on. Did you say Barrow? Then are you?
Let me just get this mask off. Damn uncomfortable thing. No wonder Mooney went crazy wearing this.
Mooney?
There we go.
Marie Campbell? George's old girl. Oh, well, it sure has been years since I last saw it. Oh, God damn it.
Thump.
I'd be quiet if I were you, Teddy.
But
I'd listen to Forrest. Everyone's gonna know now what Teddy did. He killed George that night. This night. 20 years ago.
Listen to me. You...
You're gonna talk when I talk to you. And not a moment before. Meanwhile, Forrest, I'm gonna give you the chance to talk. You're gonna help me reveal what really happened to George all those years ago.
Steven Sal says, love your videos, Ox. Looking forward to the full story of the Minutemen, my favorite faction. So am I, Steven. So am I. Okay, I'll play along.
Okay, Marie. I'll do it.
Good. Then let's talk about the night George was murdered.
Murdered? Listen,
Crunch, crunch,
I
crunch.
said you speak when you're spoken to. Now, I know you've done some good work tonight in piecing together what happened to George 20 years ago, and that's why I want you to interview us.
Interview you? All right. I can do that.
Thank you. I want you to help me and Teddy tell the story, Forrest. Do a good job. And hell, you might be the only one to leave here alive.
I need to drag this out. If I can buy Leslie time to get back to Gallows Creek, and if I can find out where Marie is, then this can end. Teddy, we'll start with you. Just, talk me through what happened that night. How did it start?
how would I know? It was 20 years ago.
Hit him, Marie. We could get in on this.
Teddy, be honest with me or we're both going to die.
Honest? Forrest, I'm trapped here with a psycho. Ow. What the hell? God damn it. Okay. Our first team party was coming up. And when I saw the date it was scheduled for, I had an idea for a way we could prank the new guys.
I understand that kids in Gallows Creek know tonight as Whistling Night. I'm guessing that's what you mean?
Well, we didn't have a name for it then. It was just the night that Mooney went missing. But Whistling Night is what they'd call it later.
Wait. You mean this was the first Whistling Night?
Keep talking, Teddy.
We went up near Whistling Point. God, who was there? Me, Jason, and George, of course. But George didn't come alone. He brought Marie.
And Roller Ricky, he was there too, wasn't he?
Yes, Ricky was there too. Runner Ricky, our wide receiver. I helped him off the bottle, you know. Because I'm a decent man.
Is that so?
Yes, it is. He came apart one day. Some people do. He had some issues. Wasn't stable. I didn't want him to hurt his chances in life. So, I helped him keep himself together.
You were afraid he would talk about that night, weren't you?
Keep talking.
About midway through the night, we put the prank into action.
We looked up at the trees and saw Jason there. Bloody, like he'd just been stabbed. And the whistling man everywhere, screaming. George and I and Ricky, we got left behind. But Ricky was in on it too. I know he was. He and Teddy were as close as anybody. Teddy must have told him the plan.
Michael Ewan says, make sure the card to Peggy is in your hand. Oh my God, really? Okay, well, it's in my hand.
Did you ask Ricky if he knew or not?
I didn't see any reason to. Why?
Because Ricky phoned up earlier. He didn't know anything about it, Marie.
What?
He had no idea what was happening. He said he was as terrified as anybody. Isn't that right, Teddy? You didn't tell him, did you?
Ricky never could keep his mouth shut. If we told him, he would have given everything away.
But well, it doesn't matter. He didn't run his mouth enough to tell anybody about it afterwards. He's still guilty.
It was just a stupid prank.
Hit him again, Marie.
Oh, God damn it!
You made George think Jason had been murdered. He thought his best friend was dead.
And so tonight you stabbed him for real?
It's the role he wanted to play.
Jason's still alive, Marie. He was with a friend. We talked her through how to stop the bleeding and got him professional help just in time.
Oh. Well, shame he didn't have the good sense to die earlier. He's gonna regret that. Enough about him. Me and George took off running, but somehow we got separated in the woods. I ended up near the bottom of Whistling Point, and when I noticed George wasn't with me, I panicked. And then, I don't know how he snuck up on me, but the whistling man grabs me. I scream, and he starts laughing, telling me it's just a joke.
I could stall for time here.
How did you feel?
How did you feel in that moment?
I felt like nothing was real. I felt small and confused, and
Who was under the mask, Marie? Who was the whistling man?
it was Chuck. Chuck Brody.
Oh!
Laughing away. But then he stops. And he's looking up at the top of Whistling Point.
What was he looking at? Teddy, what happened next?
Nothing. I mean, it was just
Teddy?
George fell off Whistling Point.
How do you know what happened?
I saw it.
You pushed him. were dressed as the Whistling Man too, and
I didn't push him, god damn it! I just chased him up there and he kept backing up. When I saw he was about to go over, I reached out. That's what you saw.
you liar!
It's not my fault. He didn't know it was a joke.
Oh, come on.
If he'd had any brains, he would have realized.
Oh, wow.
Ugh, you bitch. No one's going to believe this. After all you did.
If she's lying, why the cover-up?
My future was at stake, Nash. You know what it's like. People like us are bred for bigger things.
Oh, are we?
I'm going to be the mayor of this town, Forrest. And then governor. And then, who knows? What happened that night was tragic. It should never have happened. But it was a mistake. It was just a stupid joke gone wrong. So my father sent Clive out to clean it up. Why should a blip ruin my future?
George was a blip?
He wasn't a blip, Marie.
His father covered it up from there. I searched for George's body all night, but
Sandra found him the next morning while out jazz running.
she found him in the river, but she lied about that to protect Teddy.
She said something about her rent going up, unless she... Teddy, did your father own Sandra Sharp's dance studio?
It's Gallows Creek, not Sharp Creek.
Ooh. I'm really tempted to hit him again. But I don't want to get him killed because I need to have him keep answering questions.
I'd answer the question if I were you, Teddy.
Yes, okay. We own most of the town.
That's it then. Your father was going to run her out of business unless she lied and said she found him in the reservoir instead of the river.
What my father did in his business dealings is nothing to do with me.
The false reports. That's why you killed Sheriff Matthews too, isn't it, Maria? Not just to get him out of the way, but...
Everyone was in on it, Forrest. Even the coroner wrote a fake report. Said George was drinking. That he just got himself into trouble. And
I saw. I'm sorry. For all it's worth, Virginia didn't have much of a choice. She had a sick sister whose treatments she couldn't afford. She played along with the gallows to save her sister's life. And her own.
even still, she should have told the truth. I did my part. I tried everything I could think of. I even went to the newspaper, but no. That coward killed the story.
Oh.
We'll take care of Maurice Russell later.
How do I stall her some more? You've been through hell. Oh, you poor thing.
You've been through hell, Marie. I'm sorry.
You've got no idea. You never should have started. You shouldn't have pushed my George off a cliff. He should have been punished. He's coming to a stop. At least for now. Here, where George and I first met, before he joined your football team, was right after he shot the winning throw.
Wait a sec.
Ooh. The winning throw. Football field or the school gym? If it's a throw, it's got to be the football field, right? Gym. Oh, Chad is saying gym. Okay.
Gallows Creek High. In the gymnasium.
That's right, Forrest. Not that it matters, but yes, we're here. Anyway, I think that about wraps up the interview with Teddy. So...
Marie? Where? Oh my god.
Peggy!
Teddy?
You gotta help me.
Quiet. You'll talk more later. Now I have to talk to someone who mattered more than you ever did. Peggy. It's been so long since I've seen your face. I worried you wouldn't come.
Marie! Oh my god. I thought you...
And here I was, thinking you'd forgot me.
I'd never forget my own sister.
Will someone please explain to me what's happening?
Wanna explain, Peggy?
Earlier, while you were speaking to Jason, I got a call. Do you remember?
Yeah, it was suspicious at the
Well,
time.
It was from Dawn. She said that my sister Marie was there that night George died, and that I should come to the gym for a reunion.
And when you walked in, you found out.
That my sister is the Whistling Man.
Good to see you too, Peggy.
Why didn't you tell me any of this?
She said that it was my last chance to see my sister. I knew if I told you, you'd try to stop me or come with me when we need you on the radio. And I just...
I'm sorry. This has to be a lot for you.
What happened to you, Marie? You just disappeared one day.
Disappeared. I was thrown out, Peggy. I begged Mom and Dad to do something about what happened that night, but did they care? No, they told me to stay quiet.
Oh, really?
They only cared when they learned I'd been with George. And
Marie, I'm so sorry. I never knew.
it's not your fault. Really, it's Mom and Dad I should be seeing right now. But since they're dead and gone, well, I'll have to settle for the next best thing.
Wait. Is that why you went after that kid in the maze? Eugene Stein? Because his parents?
That's right. Eugene's parents were there that night too. But they got themselves killed in a bus accident.
Oh my god.
Since only their child was left.
Oh
Marie,
wow. That was
please.
their kid.
Mom and Dad are gone, Peggy. Besides, you forgot me. Just like the rest. You forgot.
Marie, Peggy never forgot about you.
Keep your mouth shut.
She kept a card from you. She kept it here on her desk.
What card?
The card you made me for my 8th birthday.
What does it say then?
Oh.
Happy birthday, Peg. Now you're great and 8. Love, M.
Thanks, chat.
Henderson police! Freeze!
Hey!
No! Henry! Get out of there!
Peggy!
We have 2 wounded, and we're in pursuit of the suspect.
Henderson police! Freeze!
Forrest!
Leslie, how's Peggy?
She's been cut pretty bad, but we're here now.
I'll be okay. God, Marie!
Hey, Zara! I need you to look after Peggy. She needs help. Now. We got here just in the nick of time.
Where's Marie?
She bolted right as we got here. The police are right on her heels. It won't be long now. It's over for us.
Yay!
Well, folks, it was a long night, but we made it through together. I'm gonna head off to go check on Peggy. This has been Forrest Nash.
Good night and good morning. Let's make tomorrow better, or it's been a scream.
And it's been a scream.
Pretty insensitive, I'm sure. But still. Top Gun Productions says, it was just a prank, bro. Oh, that's it. Well. Oh, yeah, I'm loving the music. Okay, it could have been worse. I lost 2.
Come in. One suspect is in custody. We've trailed the other suspect into the nearby woods.
Hot Dave is hot. Oh, that's me. Boy, that's really loud. Well, I mean, Eugene really didn't deserve what happened to him. I feel really bad about him. Murphy, not so much. I mean, yeah, I wish we could have saved him, but still, he buried the story. Oh no, what's gonna happen? We gotta wait through the credits. What a clever way to do the credits.
Stop! Put your hands in the air! Get down on the ground! Don't move! Nobody else has to get hurt! No, stop! Suspect has jumped!
Oh no! Did she jump off the same ledge that he was pushed from? Well, that he fell off of.
Officer Lugo, do you have a visual? Negative. No sign of the suspect anywhere.
Ooh. Sequel? That's gonna put us up for a sequel. I love how it's going through every record we could have played. Plus, did they ever get Henry? Her son? I'm assuming it was George's son. It was Marie and George's son. And that's it. Okay. Jackalwise says 2 killers. I was right. Yes. Deductive reasoning for the win. Wow. Lol. I love little mystery games / movies / TV shows, etc. Always gets the mind going. Yeah, this was a really good one. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Jake Farley says it was. She said her parents ousted her after they found out that I was with George. Yeah, I think we can assume that she became pregnant by George after George's... Well, I mean, she got pregnant before George died, but she didn't realize she was pregnant until George was already dead, and then got kicked out of the family home by her parents. It's awful what happened to Marie. But she kind of blamed a whole lot of people that really weren't involved in what went on. Like poor Eugene. He didn't deserve that. Poor kid. Lost in a maze. What a way to go. Lady Duet on Twitch says, good for only losing 2. Thank you, Lady Duet. I gotta say that the chat really helped out with a lot of that. Omni Elemental Wizard says the twist was great, huh? What was the Seagulls reference? There was an 80s band called Flock of Seagulls. Flock of Gulls or something like that. I was just wondering if they were going to play that band, but... Well, there we go. And, yeah, so we had about an hour worth of gameplay left. But it's 11 o'clock my time. I could end it now. I don't know. I think I've got some more steam in the tank. You guys want to see me play some System Shock? Or should we just call it a night here and find a new game for next week? Nick93 says, early start to Ghost of Tsushima. Ox can play the start. Well, I haven't purchased or downloaded it yet, so no, can't do that. All right, viewers want to see System Shock. Okay, so the way this will work, so I don't get my games mixed up, is I'm going to have to end the broadcast and start a new one. So things are going to go dark. It's going to look like I'm offline because I am offline. And then I'm going to have to create a new live stream on YouTube for System Shock. And then I'll go live and we can play System Shock together. So I'll be offline for 5 minutes or less. I've already got the thumbnail made. I just have to make the metadata and all of that. And then I'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes and we can continue with System Shock, okay? So if you're on Twitch, Facebook, or Kick, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. If you're on YouTube, wait for my new broadcast to go live and then switch over there and we can all join each other. Jackal Wise says, my headcanon is that Marie got shot while running and her and George's son Henry shared the same fate as both his father and the original Whistling Man, falling into the river from Whistling Point and vanishing. Yeah, that's definitely the impression that they gave us, though they did say that they didn't see a body. She sort of disappeared, leaving it open for a sequel in the future. We'll see. Yeah, now's an opportunity to go get a drink, head to the bathroom, take a quick break, and I'll see you back here in about 5 minutes, all right? All right, stay tuned for some System Shock. All right, be right back.